think whatever you watch on the TV can be cut in the purposes to make things more drama, okay? They cut it till the moment when like it's supposed to be Twitch only.
Okay.
Like kind of I'm asking Twitch to go out. In
Okay.
fact, I knew that he's gonna say yes.
Okay.
In fact, I was ready to battle him. You want to have a show? I'm gonna give you a goddamn show. Like none of the people gonna tell you like, oh, you need a little bit motivation and inspiration. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
You need a
just gotta do the
discipline.
gym.
Like
Yeah.
get your ass up. Like it's cold outside. Who cares about your balls? Go and run. Like go, just do it. You know. Modeling. I was just like, I kind of enjoyed it way more, and models get paid way more than dancers. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
So now you know. I think a lot of people not gonna like follow me after that, but you know what?
Yo, you got. How is the society in Russia compared to like the American society?
You said like that we are cold and aggressive. That's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, we're way worse. So
Okay.
the last year and a half, I actually changed my life a lot. So this is kind of brand new me that you're seeing. Like if you would see me like around the year and a half, maybe 2 years and a half, I'm finally happy with me. And I'm like finally freaking happy to have my own voice that can beat any other voice in the room. And they called me weirdo all my entire life. Who saw me like this and it's just like, she's weird. She's not going out with us. She's not practicing with us. She's not doing anything with us. So like, you're weird. I'm like, no. You guys drinking, smoking here, going crazy, doing crazy stuff. I'm like, I'm good. You booking the job for bank or for book. So which is fun. For me personally, success is like a pregnancy. Everybody congratulates you, but nobody knows how many times you were fucked. Everything that you think is the right thing. So don't you ever try to listen to anyone else, because you already have an idea of who you are and who you want it to be.
Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast of your soul, Soul Rojo, your favorite podcast in your house, in your heart, baby. I love you. This episode is very special for me. Again, it's very like spontaneous, if you can call it like that. I know this person not for a while, but it feels like a while, which is crazy. She's like everything in the like she's done like a lot of work, jobs, gigs, and I feel like her story is gonna be like good as fuck. So, you can curse here if you want to. So, with all of you in the podcast, so Rojo, Anastasiia. Wait, something? I'm sorry, I got excited.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take that as a big compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Like, there's a lot of people that say like, there's a person in the back really yelling. Like, you can hear that. Listen. At the end, yeah, it's like yeah.
Sounds like my mom. Yeah,
He's very committed.
pretty much. Yeah,
Okay, Anastasiia, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Good. What's something you feel grateful about today?
Oh, I woke up.
Nice.
That's the best part. I guess getting older, my favorite part about the day that like I waking up and I'm like checking with my parents. I'm like, is everything cool? They're like, yeah. I'm like, good. That's gonna be a great day. That's it.
Nice. Do you have like it? Are you grateful for just waking up? Because you had an experience close to death or something like that that makes you like appreciate a little bit better, or it's just like the way you are, you being always like that?
I think I used to be more regular, let's say this way. Like when you're waking up and you're just like, yeah, it's another day, like job thing or something. But I guess the moment when you have clear vision of who you are, the moment that you have a clear vision of your goals, and especially like when you're people that you love, like they are fine, they're like alive. So that's the moment when like it's a little bit changed for me. I would say like I used to wake up like normal,
Yeah.
but now it's just like because I have all those like aspects in my head like
Yeah.
every single day. So I'm just like I'm waking up like way more grateful. And I have this phrase in my head. I don't know if you watched the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I think so.
He was a blue shirt guy there, and he was always saying like, "Don't have a good day, have a great day." And I'm like, "Damn, this is he's so fine." Like it's just like it's such a small phrase. It's like
Yeah, but
like not like extremely deep, but like it's true because it's totally up to you how great your day is gonna be. So the moment you woke up is already a great day. Like, but how great it's gonna be, it's this scale is totally up to you. So and I kind of like this idea.
nice. It's very nice. Like the phrase, I think I heard it before,
Yeah.
but I never like actually stop and be like, it's like true.
Yeah.
So like at what age do you started to feel like there was more not expectation, but you had like more clear wherever you go, so you can be like, like I'm grateful because I woke up.
What age?
Yeah, around what age? You don't have to say like September 5th.
No. I would say clearly. Maybe I think like I became insanely grateful for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Like I became obsessed with waking up. Like I woke up early, pretty much. So a lot of people ask me like, "Why would you wake up 4 a.m.?" Like, what are you insane?
doing?
Why 4 a.m.? I'm like, I cannot wait to get up. I cannot wait to get up. I cannot wait to start doing the things that I love. I cannot wait to finishing the projects, creating the projects. I cannot like I hate sleep. I swear.
Really?
I mean, like I love sleeping because
But
it's a good recovery. But just like every single night, I'm like, I cannot wait to wake up. Like I wake up without my alarm.
It's just go,
So
go,
it's
go,
and
go,
I'm just
go.
like I woke up like 3:30, and I'm like, yes, 30 minutes earlier today. Let's go. I'm like, let's get it. So I like maybe a couple last years.
And then like one, I mean, you said like a couple last years,
Mm-hmm.
you started waking up 4 a.m., 5 a.m. every day.
Well, it took me like a little bit like to start waking up first at 6, then 5, then 4:30, then going like
Like,
rolling back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you like, will you consider now? I think you consider yourself a morning person.
Well, if you can say like 4 a.m., some people says it's a night.
I mean,
But yeah, I guess I'm a morning person.
and then before that, you were like a morning person, or you used to like wake up like late or
At some period of my time, I think it was like when the goals wasn't clear. So you don't want to wake up when you don't know what you
there's
want to
a
do.
reason why.
It's always mental, always mental. You don't want to wake up and you don't want to get up from get your ass from the bed is because you don't know what you want to do today. You don't want to what you want to be and your vision is not clear. So of course I had this moment before in my life.
That's
But I was just
crazy.
like, and every single time I hear like everybody like, oh, I'm going to sleep at 3 a.m. and I wake up at 1 p.m. and I want to get up from the bed. I'm like, yeah, because you don't know who the fuck you are. So, and I'm like, but this is honest answer.
Yeah, I love it. Just because I'm so down for that, because I always say that the worst feeling, right, that I felt, and I feel like everyone, I guess, to have is like waking up and not knowing why you wake up.
Exactly.
Like I told you, like we were talking in the car before this, and I told you like I had a very bad like moment in my life, right? And I had these times where I just woke up and I was like, why? Like, why I'm waking up? Like, can I just like sleep? Because I didn't know, like, I told you I didn't know what to do with my life and and all this stuff. So this is a very bad feeling. And now you got the opposite of like,
Yeah,
damn, I know why I
Yeah.
wake up.
absolutely.
It's so like it's a game changer, something like so small if you can call it like that, but at the same time so big. Like that's the difference between someone like, oh, I want to stay on bed, like,
Yeah.
and
No, I
then
hate
like,
staying in bed. I hate staying in bed. I swear to God, like I woke up like 3:30 around 4 this morning, and I was just like, oh my God, like I'm traveling to Otto. I'm like, it's 1 p.m. and I'm like, what am I gonna just like? No, wake up. We have to do this. We're gonna read this. We're gonna fish this. And I'm like, okay, let's
like,
get up.
okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
So yeah,
Okay, so I taking consideration, I'm guessing your every day is different because you do different stuff. How will you like portray your daily routine?
my daily routine. Well, now you know I wake up very early. First thing, always I'm having a little snack when I wake up, which is peanut butter with banana. Gosh, love it. I mean, like, listen, for the person who doesn't eat sweets, and I used to love sweets a lot.
Yeah.
So for me, peanut butter banana is like a cheesecake in the morning.
Oh.
And I'm like, yes, give it me oatmeal there. Like, I swear to God. So this is another thing that motivates me to get my ass up from the bed.
Okay.
Workout, usually. Like, workout for like 3 or 5 hours. I have a couple of like planned workout things during this time period. Then after, obviously, I have a lunch. Couple meetings. Sometimes it's auditions. Sometimes it's like meeting with the like directors. Like I have one very great director who teaches me about the scripts and about the writing and about directing. So I'm grateful for him a lot. During the day, what else I do? I read a lot. I write a lot. I write emails a lot. You know, like when the people says like it's a lot of emails involved during the day.
Yes.
So I also learn languages. So like I enjoy, like I'm learning German right now, and I enjoy it so freakingly much. And I'm like I have a friend who lives in LA, and I start talking with him like through the messages.
Yeah.
And I actually realized I can type things, and I'm like, I understand. I'm like, sometimes I miss some words, and obviously I'm
Of course.
checking this out. So pretty much like this. And I'm watching a lot of movies. Again, not like I'm a Netflix person, but I love
In the way of perspective, like
in the perspective
like,
how
they're
to make the
doing-
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So books are my best friends.
Okay.
So reading a lot, pretty much boring stuff, you know, like when the people like people don't do that. Like people ask me like recently was it Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I'm just like, happy Thanksgiving. Like I got a bunch of invitations. I'm like, listen, I'm writing a book right now. I'm actually wrote the book. So I like just doing some small corrections in there. So and I was just like, you know what? You eat your turkey. I'm gonna stay home and work on my stuff.
Your turkey.
So and I'm like, I'm sorry, and it's just like, yeah, but this is once a year, and I'm like, no, I know what I want to do. I feel I'm gonna be so freaking awesome, like just playing my favorite music and just working on my book.
Nice.
So pretty much like that's every single day what I'm doing. But
how do you like write a book? Like, is there a correct way of writing a book, or how, like, for example, if like someone like me, for example, like I have a couple friends, because I have my story, right? And like everyone knows, but they were like, oh, you should write a book and da da da. But I'm like, I don't know like how to write a book. It's like some people are like, just start writing, but then it's like so like, especially like your personal journey going through that book. How what's the process for you to be doing that book?
So the book that I wrote right now is actually based on the principles that I live daily.
Okay.
So let's say one of my favorite phrases is, the bigger your dream, the earlier you have to get up. And this is one of my favorite things, like what I like. Sometimes I don't want to get up early. Obviously, I'm a human being.
Of course.
But then like this thing is
In your
kicking in
mind.
my head. Yeah. And like Kobe's voice just like, are you working hard enough? And I'm like, Jesus, sir.
Sir, please, can you leave me just a little bit,
I'm
please?
like, no, okay, I feel you. Okay, I'm getting up. So for me, based on those principles, when I wrote them down, and it's easier for me to start writing my personal life experience. So it's just like basically like you're doing the plan. So if you add, like, let's say if I would give you a tip, how that like what helped me.
Yeah.
I wrote down the principles. Let's say even this thing, like the earlier you have to get up, the bigger your dream, the earlier you have to get up. And I'm starting from them, just like, hey, listen, I've been this and this and that, and I didn't woke up because of this and this and this reason.
Okay.
This is the moment when things changed. And like actually telling the people my personal experience, because there is nothing better in this world than the personal experience that you can share with
Of course, because that's the more honest part.
Yeah, because like if you're gonna like sit and like, one rainy day I was born, and it's kind of
Like rainy day, you really were burned, yeah. Like,
yeah, and you're like, well, yeah, but like it's, and again, like what kind of book do you want to write? Do you want to write a novel? Like, do you want to write science fiction? Do you want to like write personal memoir? Like, what do you personally want to write?
for me, it's just like my personal journey.
So I would say like just go with the ideal, like perfect phrases that you waking up every morning, because I'm pretty sure you have it in your head. Like, and again, you're right. We spoke in the car and you said like, I think this and this and that and this and like taking this one phrase, you can unfold it to the whole
That's
big
a whole
story.
chapter.
And it shouldn't be like connected to each other. Like
Yeah.
let's say I read Kevin's Hard book, which is surprisingly really good.
Surprising.
I mean, like, no, it's just like every single time, like when I hear that like some celebrity writes the book, and I'm like,
Come on.
yeah, sure, like you wrote the book, but like reading Kevin's Hard story, and I was just like,
Okay.
there is a chapters about like, okay, was the situation, this was the situation. Like it's kind of like not saying that this is not connected. It is connected in a chronological order. But at the same time, like I realized I'm in the half of the book and I'm actually listening what the hell he's saying.
Okay.
So which is awesome. And again, like this is his own experience. This is like the bad moments that he went through. This is the good moments that he went through. So like it shouldn't be just like the perfect like Dostoevsky novel or something like this, like because
nothing crazy going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I would say like write 10 paragraphs for yourself.
Okay.
How you feel like this is my life. This is this phrase that motivates me. This is my phrase that like I'm telling myself like when I'm feeling not well. And going from there, you're gonna see how easy it's actually to write.
Nice.
After
It
that.
makes the process so much easier. Like, it sounds better. Like I can see it more clear in my head. Like I'm like, okay, actually,
everything needs a plan. Everything needs a plan.
I'm like, actually, can you just like cut the podcast right now?
we can start sitting and like brainstorm.
Okay, and then like I don't know if I'm gonna say this right because I know the word in Spanish, but like how do you plan or on working with the people who published the book? Do you have like a company or do you want to do it like by yourself? How are you planning to do that, to do it, the book releasing?
All you need is the right connection and the right people who already have done it.
You heard that?
I mean, but it's
Networking.
It's in any field.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Like,
in everything you do.
You
like,
cannot go to the Daily Store and say like, hey, do you know how can I get an audition with Beyonce? Because the dude like in the Daily Store, he doesn't know that.
Of course.
Right? So like when you wrote the book, and again, when you're doing something, universe dropping those opportunities to you.
Okay.
When you start like writing, like, and I literally, when I just started writing this stuff, I went to the party when my friend was like organizing a party. And I met like 4 people who had they are published writers.
Okay.
And I'm like, who's your publisher? And they're like, oh, this person and this person. I'm like, can you look at my book? And they're like, yeah, sure. Send it to me. This is my email. That's it. As long as you start doing something, the universe start rolling with you.
because you're actually getting to work.
You cannot just say like, yeah, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna make a movie with a Tarantino. No, if you're not doing a thing, this is not gonna happen. As long as you're putting your time, energy, and effort in the things, that's probably going to be outcome.
Nice. Do you have any idea like when it's going to be released, or you don't have a date yet? Not exactly date, but around-ish?
I do have, you're going to have it. Like, I mean,
Thank you.
I'm going to gift it to you. Like, cause like, this is my literally first podcast that I'm doing. Like
thank you so much.
besides of like interviews, like
Of
for
course.
TV shows and whatever
Like
the
a
heck it is.
more personal open space?
So I'm going to give it to you. I'll be
Okay,
happy
thank
to.
you. I appreciate it.
And, I do have a couple meetings already planned. And This is
Okay.
going to be coming week. So
Okay.
and that's why I'm on a tough deadline. I'm kind of doing the corrections because I want to bring those people the right, not just like, oh, this is my second draft, or like I just want to bring them and see what the hell is going on there. Besides, I'm doing the sketches for this book myself.
Okay.
So it takes a
Time,
while. But yeah.
How long have you been writing it?
Like maybe 4 months, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Having a book, that's crazy. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, like from my perspective, because I'm from Honduras, right? I don't know in Russia how is it, but it's like having a book is like just like this type of people have them. It's like, oh my god, it's so hard to get them. But like whenever you get here, you're like, and then you start meeting people, and you know how it actually works. It's like, damn, like like I can do it too.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it's more reachable.
But it's also for a majority of people who just like live their 9 to 5 daily life, right? They're just going to the
Pedestrians.
office. Mortals. I think a lot of people not gonna like follow me after that, but you know what?
Yo, you gotta be yourself.
So yeah,
You want people to follow you for who you are, not what you
yeah.
provide and what you said. So
So no, but
I'm
no,
like,
seriously, like some people they do have a regular life and they don't have a big ambitions and goals, which is fine.
yeah,
Like
it's
everyone
fine.
is different.
Of course.
But here again, like when you're saying like you feel it's possible and doable, it's because you start surrounding yourself with those type of people, you know. So and it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think like you're gonna meet this writer, and just like, oh, I actually can do it.
Yeah, it's like,
So
okay,
yeah,
if that person can do it, I can
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, good. So after like a long ass introduction,
That was intro. Holy
I'm
guacamole!
like,
I apologize.
nah, you're good, bro. I had like intros of like 40 minutes.
Okay.
I usually ask this question just so you can like introduce yourself better. Like if like I have someone or we have someone that doesn't know you for anything, I'd like you to introduce yourself the best way you can and the most honest you can.
Oh, they don't want to know that.
I'm like, like, who are you and like, what do you do for a living?
Oh, that's a real question.
Yeah, like,
What? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So like, so you can introduce yourself and be like, yeah, I'm this person. Da, 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 da.
Well, my name is Anastasiia. My last name is Gavryhova. Good luck with pronouncing that. I'm just going under Anastasiia, so
Okay.
it's gonna be easier for everyone.
Gabriel, Gabriel, oh fuck, Gabriel Ova.
You can just call G. Anastasiia G. That's gonna be
Great, it works for me.
that's gonna be
I'm like-
fine. I'm a model and actress. I'm also directing for now short movies, but like my final goal is actually to do the feature film. So and work with some particular people and get my book published. So yeah. I work in the entertainment and fashion industries.
Nice. How's your experience like working? Cause well, you moved from Russia to the U.S., right?
Well, I moved from China to US. I used to
okay.
live 2 years in China before I moved here.
So okay, so you came from, I mean, you're from Russia, then you moved to China directly from there, or you came from other place before that?
Listen, my life, like where I'm from, it's like again, it's a very complicated thing.
Okay,
My dad, he's a French Algerian, and my mom is Russian.
okay,
So it was like back and forth between Russia and France, especially when I was a kid.
okay.
However, I did spend my life in a Russian school, Russian university. So that's why
Okay.
I consider myself as a Russian.
Okay.
After that, I tried to go back to France and to see how it goes, how I feel it there, because besides it also was like a dance community there.
Okay.
So and I love French dance community and they helped me a lot. So I was like, okay, it feels fine. And then I moved to China because I wanted to save some money
Okay.
because I wanted to move here.
Mm,
My dad, he said, nope.
okay.
So that's why he said, like, if you want to do the things, you're going to do it by your own. I'm like, okay. And I found the contract and I found the agency in China. I was choreographing the shows there. So I was like traveling with a troupe of dancers and saved some money. And yeah, after China, of course, I got like to Russia because this is where my parents lives right now.
Okay.
I went to see them and said like, hey, there's a ticket, by the way.
Like, bye.
So yeah. And I moved here.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2017, I guess, like end of 2016, beginning of 2017.
And then let me go back. So, what country you grew up in?
Russia.
Russia.
Yeah.
And then, but you also lived in France. You said.
When I was a kid, yeah.
How long?
Like till four something, like I think. 4
Okay.
and
Are
a
you
half.
like? Do you speak French? Or are you
A
familiar
little
with them?
bit? I understand my father's family,
Okay.
like my grandma, but it needs a lot of renewal. It needs a lot of practice. So because like we're not that. Like my dad, he has a business with the Russians people, so
Okay.
like he speaks Russian
All the
perfectly right
time.
now. So like we whole family like speaks Russian. Like he cursing in French sometimes, obviously.
Of course.
But like
Merde.
mostly merde, oui. So like yeah, but I'm not cursing here. No, I'm not in any language. So it's funny though, like when you're learning different language, this is the first thing what you're trying to
Of
get.
course.
Not like how are you doing?
like,
You're just like
Vous
no,
parlez français? No.
no, non. Fils de pute, putain, mourir, non. And it's just like, I am so sorry for all the French audience who's watching this right now. I really am. But those words still sounds like a song.
Okay, so then how was your experience like living 2 years in China?
That's a whole different world.
Okay.
Those How can I place it? It was fun. I mean, like, the culture is different. The people are different. Um, it was different. I would say I would place it. That was
Was it
different.
hard like to adapt to that culture for you?
Uh, no, I'm like cockroach. I can adapt to anything. No, it's true. I'm very like seriously. I dropped myself in like America with the $800 in my pocket, and I thought I'm gonna be like living like, oh, I have
Oh,
$800 in New York. I'm gonna be so like first 4 months. I'm like $800. Don't you want to pay rent for $700 first with the 6 roommates in it, like 3 bedroom apartment, 6 people, 2 people in the room.
it's like the American dream.
It is American dream, yeah. Like, it's like, how can you survive in those conditions? So yeah.
Nice. Okay, and then so you went to a Russian university, you said, right? So what was your major there?
I had two.
Okay, what was your two majors?
I had one. It's a University of Arts,
Okay.
ballet,
Okay.
like dancing.
Okay.
And the second one is psychology. So
Okay. So you
don't
understand?
ask me to read the people, please.
No,
Like, this
no,
is
no,
the
no, no.
first thing that like
Bro,
people
it's so
say, like,
annoying.
like,
So what am I
can you-
thinking?
can you tell me about me? I'm like, in fact, I can, but I don't want to.
No, actually, I would like to ask you like a deeper question about it. Like how that like knowing or like having that career changed or affected the way you like approach your social life.
Which one? Like, you mean
The
my
psychology one.
psychology
Yeah.
one? It helps me. I think psychology teaches you first to detach your emotions from yourself, mostly, so you can stay with a clear mind and see situation differently. So that helped me, absolutely. Like in auditions, castings, meeting some new people, of course, analyzing somebody's behavior, stopping myself when you want to punch someone, and of course you want to punch someone sometimes. So,
Hell yeah.
but it is It is helpful. Yeah.
And then how can you get to that point of controlling your emotions? Because like some people can't, and maybe they're like fighting for themselves or whatever. What would be something that you can say like, oh, you can start by doing this?
Well, you cannot control your emotions. What you can control is your feelings. And the difference between emotions and the feelings is emotions is a reaction of your body for something that happened outside. And the
Okay.
feelings is whether you give it a name.
Mm.
So let's say somebody pushed you,
Okay.
right? You just like, you feel aggressive, right? And the name you call this emotion, like this crazy feeling, right? Like when you're like, oh, I'm about to freaking kill you,
Yeah.
is called anger.
Okay.
And you're just like, okay, that's the name for this emotion.
Okay.
How can we deal with the anger? And at the moment when you actually start thinking and placing this
Then
like
the
on
anger
the
goes
shelf,
away.
yeah, you just like start getting calmer. It's like some people says like count till 10, and you're counting like 1,
1, 2, 3.
2, 10. That's it. You just smash motherfucker after that, right? But like as long as you start placing the names and the emotion that you're feeling, you actually have a straight tutorial, like the book in your head. Like how can you hold like or manage the anger? How can you manage the resentment or like something like this? So it is the best helpful tool, I would say.
To start like breaking it down.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
why am I
Yeah.
feeling what I'm feeling and that
Yeah.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
And again, nobody, not any situation got a good result when you make an emotional decision.
Oh yeah.
So whenever you made an emotional decision, remember what was the outcome, and you're like, no, let me just stop for a second
That's why I'm in
and
jail.
think. Yeah, because nobody's gonna die. Even like if somebody's gonna die, what are you trying to do, right? Like you're trying to turn off your emotion, just like, okay, what I have, like I have 911, I have this person, they're lying down. Like you start analyzing if you're like normal person, like what you can do. So that's pretty much it.
Nice. So you're like a model then? You're a psychologist?
I would say I don't consider myself like as a psychologist because like I'm not practicing this like or not giving people sessions.
Okay.
I given sessions to myself.
Okay.
By some like my behavior or like something that I did recently. That was such a fun thing. Like when I actually stopped myself, just like, wait, why we did that? And I'm like, oh, okay. And I kind of understood why I did this particular thing or why I
Okay.
felt some particular way. So, talking about the professional field, I'm a model,
Yeah.
dancer, and I'm a director.
Okay. Well, so you don't consider yourself like a psychologist, you said,
No, I think
but you have that in the
I
pocket.
mean, how can I place it? In modern days, everyone is a psychologist. Like as long as I'm going to social media, I'm just see a bunch of the people just like as a psychologist who graduated 2 years ago, and I'm like, okay,
Shut the fuck up.
it's not like this. It's just like we're going to the psychology field because the first thing what we wanted to do is to understand ourselves better.
Okay.
It's the same way with the teaching when a lot of like dancer says like, oh, you cannot teach before you're going to get my approval, or you cannot teach before you're going to have 10 years of the dance experience, which I consider BS, because you have to start teaching as long as you feel comfortable to be around people.
Yeah.
Because explaining them those steps, you actually explaining yourself. This is only one way to grow. That's only one way to grow. You don't have to wait anyone's approval. And if you are ready to be responsible for those mistakes that you said, like, oh, you can do pop with your shoulders, which you
Yeah.
cannot, right? So like, and then you are responsible. Then you found out you cannot do pop with your shoulders. You're coming back and says like, hey, I made a mistake. And trust me, the people will accept that
Of
because
course.
none of them have a guts actually to do the same thing.
Of course.
So this the same way with the psychology. We're trying to learn about ourselves and then maybe help somebody else.
Of course.
So yeah.
Nice. And then what was your experience being in a Russian university? Was it like on that time period of your life, was it good? You were doubting yourself, like you didn't know it was the right thing for you. Socially, were you like a popular person? You were introverted, extroverted?
I was always a very shy person. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to socialize a lot.
Okay.
Like again, like my happy place, it's a library.
Okay.
Like that's my dream, seriously, to have a huge library at home. So like nobody just touches me. I'm just taking my favorite books and reading.
Okay.
So being in Russian university, like day to day, I was going like to ballet. So it was
Yeah.
like a ballet one. They are tough. Instructors are tough. I had one friend only, which I don't consider like close friend. Which is
Okay. It
like we
was
were
just someone I
nice.
know.
She saw me, and there was a like word back in the days, like, and they called me weirdo all my entire life.
Okay.
Even from school, even in university, and like because again, I was socially awkward. I didn't want to go with the people. If I want to go practicing, I want to practice by myself.
Okay.
Which is funny because like lately now I found out that everything that I thought, all the methods, I was right. Because like let's say take Missy Elliott and Timbaland, when Missy was trying to find her own sound, like as a rapper
Yeah.
and performer, her and Timbaland, they were closing in the studio and not going collaborating with anyone.
Yeah.
Because she was like developing herself. That's why we know Missy Elliott is the only one.
Yeah.
Like there is nobody like her. I mean, like maybe people trying to be like
Like,
Missy,
imitating,
but
but
that's
that's
Missy
original.
Elliott. Yeah. So the idea is finding yourself is to close yourself in the room and in the box. And it's very hard because first you're gonna be like looking at this like in the walls and
What can I
like
do?
okay, wave. What can I do with the wave? God, like talking like from the
Yeah,
dancer
of course.
perspective, yeah. But the people like who saw me like this and it's just like she's weird. She's not going out with us. She's not practicing with us. She's not doing anything with us. So like you're weird, and I always felt like not offended. I'm just like I'm not weird. You just don't know the way I'm doing the things.
Okay.
So was it hard for me back then when I was like in my 18, 17, whatever it is, like younger age? No. I mean, I was thinking like, oh, that would be good to have a friends. Oh, what is this book? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's it. I'm lost. Like you,
Okay.
like I could lost in a good movie and could lost in in a good mood.
Okay.
So, but like social wise, it wasn't good for me. I would
Okay.
say because I'm like good. Like I didn't communicate with a lot of people.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then, do you ever felt like, I mean, you were in your own world and everything, and you feel like misunderstood, maybe, if that's the word, if you can call it like that?
Misunderstood. No, I I don't care about them. I
Mm.
never cared about them. I'm
So you
like,
never were like, why do like people don't come to me or da 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 da? You were just always like, bro, I'm by myself and that's it.
I
Like,
kind of like, there was only one period of my life when I could say that I lost my own inner voice.
okay,
And it wasn't like when I was like 19 or 20. I always kind of knew, like back in the day, I'm just like, you know what? If you don't see what I'm doing, that I'm closing myself in the studio for 8 hours practicing pop only. Seriously, because I wanted to have a good pop.
yeah,
So I'm just like, whatever. And they're like telling me, like somebody came to me, thought that like I need support, and they said like, hey, listen, like let's go with us, let's practice. And I'm like, no, 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 you guys drinking, smoking here, going crazy, doing crazy stuff. I'm like, I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna stay here. And they're like, yeah, but you're not gonna grow if you're not gonna learn from the other people. No, I'm like, I know basics. I know Fresno. I know waving. I know how the pop works. That's what all I need.
you're like,
And I'm like, I'm listening to the music. Yeah. And I'm like, thank you very much. So you have letters, right? You have the letters so you can combine them in the words.
okay,
That if that makes sense.
yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then, what you were the same way at home, like whenever you grew up with your parents in the family environment, were you always by like for yourself, or you were more extroverted at home?
So you mean like with the close people, right?
Yeah, like at home, mom, dad. Do you have siblings?
Yes, I do. I
How
have an
many?
older brother. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I have older brother and cousin. With the cousin, I'm a little bit closer than with my brother, but we're fine. We're just like brother sister thing. It's just
Okay,
normal.
good. So like more in the nuclear family thing where you were extroverted, or you were like the same thing as you were in, like in college or high school.
It's funny. I love my mom and dad. They are amazing. A little bit crazy, like any parents, but like I think with my mom, I'm very close now. We
Okay.
can just like recently went to Russia to see her first time in the 8 years. We had a great time. We just like went everywhere. We're just like we're looking like we're best friends.
Okay.
So which is awesome. But being younger, I do remember when I was like 11, I think.
Okay.
And my dad was like trying to teach me something, or like, and again, like I was introverted still. Like I'm
Okay.
like, I'm kind of whatever. It's funny. I have a picture in my phone when it's just like whole family sitting and I'm like on the corner
No.
like this.
She's like,
And I'm like, me and mom watching this, like this is the reason why I actually took this picture. We're watching the album and she's like, guess who doesn't like socialize? And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much me.
That's me.
No, I mean, like
That's my
I was fine with them, but like being like close and like going crazy, never. And again, like in my age of 11 or 12, I'm pretty sure it was 11, when my dad told me like, oh, you're not going like to this place or like to seeing like this movie. Like I was like always in the movies. Like I just like give me
Okay.
money for the movie. I'm like, and they're like, no, you're spending this like for drinks or something. And I'm like, drive me.
It's for the
We
movies.
had only one movie theater in the city, in the place where we used to live. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, there's another movie. Let's put me there. And like because nobody cares that you can stay for longer, I just like go stay there for hours.
That's
So
crazy.
and he told me like you cannot do that, and I was just like at the age of 11, I was like I cannot wait to live by myself.
And watch my
I can,
movies.
and I'm like cannot wait to finally live the life that I want, not the life that somebody taught me to live, but the life that I want.
Okay.
So I kind of always knew that since I was like young enough.
And what's like right now? What's the life that you want?
Oh, amazing! I'm telling you, like I love it so much. I I mean, like there's a lot of things to achieve, obviously, but I'm telling you, like as I said before, like for me, waking up is the best thing in the entire world. Like I spoke with my dad recently, and he's just like, well, like you like. So technically, he says like if you're gonna go back to Russia, like I have apartment there for myself. I have
Okay.
2 cars, and I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't have
Yeah,
to
it's
worry.
like a comfort zone.
It's everything like it's set for me. So and I was
Okay.
just like all the best place, best gym, just like here you go, live your best life. And I'm like, you know what? This is your best life, not mine. So I'm like, I enjoying to actually making fortune for myself. I'm enjoying to every single moment. Like the moment when I moved to China to earn money by myself, not waiting for when my parents gonna give it to me. In fact, my parents never taught me how to earn money because the plan was just like, oh, she's gonna be 18. We're gonna find for perfect husband for her. Don't forget, he's a Muslim. He's like Algerian. He's a Muslim person.
Okay.
So, and that's the plan. So here you go. So I never had this financial education, if that makes sense, because like it's very important for the kid to learn how to earn money. I didn't have it. I always had the money when whatever, not like a lot of money, but like but whatever parents give it to you.
Yeah.
So and I don't think he just like believed in the mom and that like I'm gonna be that insane to go and live by myself. So I went to China, I started earning the money, and they're like, and then like bought the tickets to New York, and they're like, and then I'm like first year, second year, and I was just like calling my mom, and I'm like, so how much dad lost you in the bets that I'm gonna be back? She's like, well, it's about $4,000. Thank you for you. So they betting in the family. He's just like, she's gonna
really like year. I gave her 2 years. She's coming back.
Yeah, like 6
crying
months.
like a baby.
Yeah. So something like this. I'm just like, no,
that's crazy. So you were like in this like box, and you went like out of
golden box. Yeah.
How was like that process of like actually having did you actually had a conversation with your parents and be like, hey, I don't want this? Or it was just like you did certain actions and then they understood?
I had absolutely. When I was like 16 or 17 or something, I was just like, I fell in love with the hip hop terribly. Like I was like, this is the best thing that can ever happen to me. It's just like hip hop, like culture, popping. In fact, I didn't love popping till some period of time. I was just like, that's a weird style. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So and then I met Mr. Wiggles and I enjoyed the style. So like he kind of break those things down for me. And I was just like, oh, that's how cool it can be. Cool. And he's like, yeah, like etc. Like, and besides, I saw that there was like not a lot of girls doing this one. And I was just like, okay. I'm gonna be there.
Different
so,
one.
but I spoke with the parents about like, hey, I want this and this, I want this and that, and obviously, like any parents, they're gonna tell you, we know better, we'll live longer life, we know how it's better to do the things.
Exactly.
And again, it's not from the bad perspective because they just like think it's safer and it's
they're
better.
being parents.
Yeah. So I had a conversation. They haven't heard of them. Just like, okay, China contracts, artists. Oh, here you go.
Damn, what were your feelings by the time whenever you had that conversation? How were you feeling?
I'm going to do whatever I want to do with my life and nobody's going to stop me.
Were they like supportive or they were like, nah, you're out. Like you're doing it by yourself,
I don't think the word supportive is kind of in this context can be used. I think I think my mom is more supportive. Like, let's say, not that she loves me more, like dad loves me.
No,
less.
It's just a different type of love.
I would say, I think that my dad thought is like, okay, let's give her a try. She's gonna fail anyway, kinda, and come back. So that's why he was kind of calm in that case. But like when he saw me living here, and I'm just like, oh, I got this job. Oh, I booked like, oh, I got published in the Vogue. Oh, I got like first. So you think you can dance? He's just like, like that's the moment where he's just like, wait, she's not giving up.
I'm like, what?
Kind of like he's just like start like realizing that things are actually serious.
Okay.
In what I'm doing. So, but it's not about the support. It's about like to believe that like kid who grew up in a like a vegetable, technically, they give me the water, they give me the food, they give me the place to live. Like this person don't have a knowledge how to survive in the crazy situations. She's not gonna feel comfortable there, but they don't know me, which is funny, right? Like, because like we think that the parents or family, we think each other like the best we can. Like I can say, but I don't think that I even know what's going on in my mom's head. I don't know what's going on in my father's head, and I'm like, I want to tell them like, not for disrespecting you, but there is 100% you don't know me because you see a daughter and I'm a daughter next to you, but like not the like real me. So the fact is like when I know who I am and I try to tell this to them, it's a little bit shocking, but they're getting used to it. So
they're still in the process, or
they're still in the process. Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes, my mom is way easier and faster to understand those things, but dad is just like, I appreciate my mom. She sometimes calls him. She's like, okay, she's that way. She has a specific diet. Don't buy any ice cream at home. So like, because when I was visiting them, he's like, she's not eating any ice cream? Why? He's like, She's like, what is going on? This
What
is
the
not.
fuck?
She's like, this is not my daughter. And I'm like, and she's like, no, just buy the tuna, no oil, just tuna in the water. And like she gives him instructions, so he'll listen to
Wow.
the
Yeah,
instructions. Because
he's like,
like
okay, okay.
I have a particular diet that like I'm holding up to.
Okay.
So and she teaches him as well. So
Nice. Now going back to your like, being like very to yourself socially, was the what was the process that you had to understand maybe or you went through to be like I'm a model now and also I had to network. So that means I got to talk to people and like da 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 all this type of stuff. Where do you had a process to understand that or and then it was if you had a process it was rough or it was like sweet for you or you didn't have a process you just like went straight to it.
that's mean because like I don't like to have a people don't like to socialize, right? Like
Yeah, like
because
going back to that like
all
you
our
went yeah.
all the business is actually based on networking and the social skills.
Yeah.
And the main word in this is skills.
Yeah.
As any skill, you can develop it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if I want it or not. It doesn't matter if I want to get up early. It doesn't matter if I want to run hour. Most likely, I don't want to.
Okay.
But it's a skill and it's a discipline that I must have in my purse. So, and I'm like, okay, I'm not moving a lot with this particular modeling thing that I want to do. Like, what can I do? Develop better skill with the communication, because as long as I'm going to know the right people, right connections, this is going to work. Let's say I don't like to go out. Who cares? Who cares if you don't like to go out and communicate with the people or write them the right letter or ask somebody in a particularly correct way, can you introduce me to this person? Who the F cares? This is my job and this is the skill that I must develop to be successful in the field that I really want to.
Okay.
So, Joe, I'm going to sit home and cry and just like, yeah, but I don't like the people. No, fuck that. This is excuses for the lazy people. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to need the skills in my purse. I'm going to make it happen.
So then you started going out.
It's just like, I'm not going out like night lifetime.
No,
I
of
mean,
course, but like more people wise and meetings
absolutely.
and stuff like that.
Because this is part of my job. And I'm not saying that like I hate it, but like
if you have an option, if you have to choose,
I mean,
it's like,
do I want to stay at home and read the book? Yeah, but does it gonna help me to develop the right connections and to get me like in the right places with the right people, with the right DP, directors, choreographers, whatever it is? No. Okay, so shut the fuck up, put the good dress, and go. So like that's so easy, and it's just like again, it's the same discipline.
nice. Is it? Do you think like the this mentality you have, like, oh, like I understand that I need this, so I'm gonna just go for it. Does it has to go like the way you were raised, or do you feel like you feel like you just had it like that? You know, like other people, like other Russian girls and stuff like that. It's a cultural thing, or because like I talk to many people, right? Because I'm a social guy, so like so I see like how people struggle, like this type of stuff, for example, right? Like, I don't know, like I'm not able to network and I'm very shy and da 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 da. Good. And you know, it's like knowing what you need to do to get better or something and still not do it for a reason. Rather like you, the way you're describing your process is like, I understand that I have to like talk to people now, even though I'm like not that comfortable, but it's part of my job. So you're like, it's job. Okay, good. So I have to do it. Do you think this is like it was because of the way you were raised? It was cultural. The exchange you have with other people, do you feel like they're different? Or how do you see the scenario here?
I think it's not the way I was raised.
Okay.
There is none of the characteristics when we were raised as a kids actually means in the workplace. I think so. I think the main idea is to redevelop and reshape yourself.
Okay.
So there was a particular moments in my life that I was just like, I need to switch it. I need to switch the way I'm working because this way is not good. So, and I'm just like, I just being honest with myself. And as we were in the car, I told you like that people don't like to be honest with themselves because they're going to be like, see that the problem is in you. Like everyone's love to say that, oh, this sun is not well. Oh, this is the rain, or this person don't understand. No, it's all about you, fucker. And you better to understand that. Earlier you understand that, the easier your life is gonna get. Because if you're doing something, let's say not communicating with the people, right?
Yeah.
And your outcome, you're not booking the jobs. That's, well, let's go back and see like what should be changed. Because in order to get that, you never something that you never had, you have to start doing something that you never done before. And we all know that. So, but sometimes people just say like, yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like-
yeah, but like nobody want to apply this rule in their life. So for me, I wasn't raised that way. I just, at some points, I sat with myself, and I told myself honestly why this situation happened, and not just like putting this like a lot of excuses on top of that. But that's so scary, because like sometimes I think like the scariest and the hardest part to stand like almost in front of the mirror and say like, I screwed up in this and this and this because I'm afraid of doing this and this and this, because I'm not strong enough to doing this and this and this. And like you go deeper and deeper and just like, oh my God, am I so miserable? And even if you're going to say, yes, so what? And you're like, oh, I'm still here. I'm alive. Oh, let's work from that. So, and this is the moment when you actually change. There's one great book that changed my perspective on those old things. It's called Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky.
Okay.
He's a Russian writer, and I'm pretty sure like an American public, they
It's,
knows him as well. So Brothers Karamazov's like, he wrote this book too, so it's very famous. So, but Notes from Underground is insanely good. It's a very heavy book to read.
Yeah.
And when I was reading, I was just like, one page at a time, one step. Okay.
Overwhelmed.
I'm just like, okay. Oh, okay, give me a second. I just like sip some tea. But the idea of the main character to going so deep to see his own demons and to see his own imperfections and accepting those imperfections is insanely amazing, because we all have those things, you know? So I think like in order to change like some patterns, you have to just like be honest with yourself, if that makes sense. I know that
it makes total sense.
yeah, like I know that I went far away from the question that you asked me,
But
regarding
actually
just like
funny,
if it's
like,
raise
it's
it
lovely.
or not. But like it and again, like you can.
It's more of self thing rather than an external thing.
Yeah, you can always say just like, no, I just like, you know, like I felt at one moment I woke up, I smoked some cigarette, and then like I went this way, and everybody's just like, yeah, because this is the shortcut.
Okay.
The shortcut is the bullshit.
Mm.
Like not the greatest things like happening overnight. There should be a long process.
Yeah.
So and people don't want that. People just want to just like go now and today, like one snap of the fingers and that's it.
Do you feel like, for example, because we live like this in this moment, like in a, we can say, society that like really not appreciates, but wants like everything very fast, right? Social media and stuff like that. Would you consider like people who actually like work in the long process, who actually do the work, they have it easier because they're going against people who are just like taking the shortcut? Or do you think it's like the same way as before, that we didn't have like social media and everyone was doing like the long route?
Like, can you clarify the question?
Okay,
for
good.
Me? Yeah.
So, you know, like you have these people who are like, for example, doing the right thing, right? Who's like doing the long process. Make sense? Good. So meaning like you said, like no shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
You have this person in this society where it's like the gift is like, oh, like exact como se dice, bro, like you got things quickly. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's like I want to feel good right now. So shortcut, like I'm gonna post this like video on TikTok and Instagram so I can feel good, even though like I'm not popping correctly, but like people like me. So you have this person who has like the long process, right? But he's competing with these people who has like the shortcuts. You think this person has it easier, yeah, in the long term, because he's fighting with this person's rather than like before in that society, whenever you didn't have like social media and stuff like that. People were like probably doing the long process because that was the right thing to do. So you think, my question is like, it was harder before or it was easier now for people who are actually working?
I think think social media changed nothing because there was always people who wanted to have shortcuts
Okay.
and the people who are ready for the long way and
Of
like to
course.
get the results.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, it's proved by years that like if you're taking the shortcuts and taking like quick happiness, right? Like like let's say you eat some sugar,
Yeah.
you eat some cookie, you're happy now, but what's
Yeah.
happened next, right? Like
Yeah.
your blood pressure is switching, your like adrenaline is switching, like and again, and
Diabetes.
the next year you like eating another like pack of cookies or something like this because sugar gives you a boost,
Yeah.
right? So this is the shortcut. What you actually people who's doing the long term when they think like, oh, I want a sweets. Why you want a sweets? I'm saying this on an example of energy, and I'm
Of
gonna go back
course.
to your
No, no,
question.
and I understand the analogy.
Why do you want a sweets?
Okay.
Why do you want a sugar? You want a boost of energy. That's mean you don't have enough energy in your body. What can gives you energy? Protein. Protein gonna keep you consistently staying in the high level energy if you're eating this like every single day.
Okay.
So, but nobody wants to do that, right?
Exactly.
So only people who eat a lot of protein, like let's say during the year, and not doing the shortcuts, like the people who's eating like sweets,
Yeah.
they can run longer. They can go further if their goal is there. If these people just want to like, oh, I just want to like eat the sugar, go here and like
Yeah.
showing off for 20 seconds. Okay, this is going to be your 20 seconds
Of
moment of
fame.
fame. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So pretty much. And I feel like back in the days, it was exactly the same. However, without the social media, stupid people didn't have the voice to show themselves, like, and I'm pretty sure they are very happy right now because they're older. They're like, thanks God we didn't have the social media. Other people would see how dumb we were.
Yeah.
Right? So here we just like give the voice to mediocrity. You have the voice that like people who doesn't like to educate themselves, who doesn't like to teach themselves. In fact, they do have this audience. However, I do believe in the good moments, let's say, like with the good fashion moments are back. Some good movies moments are back. Like we'll like to look back and like at the old legendary stuff.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait. So like all the good things like dignity, like long hard ass work is coming back to the style because
Yeah.
nobody wants to do it nowadays. People are lazy.
Barely.
So it's just like where you want to win. Do you want to win now? Posting cute picture in Instagram, just putting a lot of filters or like put fillers literally like or changing your face like and I see what's going on with the girls nowadays. I'm like no, I don't feel bad about that. I don't even have anything bad to say about that. But I'm just like, it's not about the package. It's about something inside of you. You have to sit and understand yourself.
Okay.
Because you can go with a nice package up front, but your energy, right? Like
Yeah.
when you entering the room, you don't have to open your mouth. Your energy introduces yourself way faster than your face. So that's like, again, like this is shortcuts versus long work. Like let's like with a long-term goal. I guess we can see even in examples how many singers or dancers or people who you can at least find in your head right now. They had a shortcut moment, like very fast, famous like moment. Everybody like, oh my God. Like I remember this kid from Justin Timberlake Super Bowl that Justin Timberlake was singing with him, and they were just like, oh my God, this kid was like literally in front with the Justin. And then Ellen DeGeneres asked this kid to come to her, and she just like, let's sit and talk. How was that? Everyone's so excited because it's kind of cool. He's a kid from nowhere. He's been with the Justin. Where is he now?
We don't know.
How many people talks about him? So
longevity.
Exactly. So like, and Justin Timberlake, who've been doing this all his life and like putting a lot of time and effort, and we still know who he is, and we know his albums, and we know his steps, and we know whatever the movie he's in. So that's the huge like
difference.
This is the example right on the plate for you,
Yeah.
So like if you wanted this 10 seconds of fame, go for it. If you're enough with it, absolutely fine. But if you have long-term goal and in the fact if your goal is not the fame,
yeah,
that's gonna take you way further. That's what I think. Because this generation want to be famous.
So badly.
I'm just like,
They do. I'm from that generation too, but like I'm like we do everything. It's like let me like
yeah,
do this
anything
stupid shit.
what feels like hype enough. But and that again, like it's not the bad thing. People learn from their own
Of
mistakes.
course.
So better let them do those mistakes. If it's no harm for anyone, like for me, I'm not mad at those like weirdos like posting some stuff on Instagram. First of all, I'm not following them. Second of all, like if I see, I'm just like, I'm not interested.
Okay.
Bye. I'm gonna put it down.
Yeah.
It's my choice.
Yeah. It's
So
you
like
see what
let
you want
them,
to see.
yeah, let them learn on their own mistakes. In 10 years, they're gonna be like, oh my god. Some of them still gonna be doing those.
They're gonna die and be like, I'm dope as
yeah.
fuck.
So everyone responsible on their own way and their own journey.
Okay, nice. This is a very good answer. I love it. In what moment in time you actually realize like, oh, like I would like to be a model, or it was just an opportunity that came to your like table and you're like, oh, I think I can do this.
Like exactly as a model. I guess I don't know. I feel like back to my photo albums, like when I was like looking with my mom recently, I was just like realized I had a lot of planned photo shoots when I was a kid. I was putting my mom's clothes and I had the Tyra Banks posters like behind me. And I was just like, take a picture of me like I'm this. Take a like my friend from the school came to my house and just like, now I'm like this, like I'm holding this cigarette, we're not gonna show it to mom. Like I always had this passion be in front of the camera and I always enjoyed that. However, when dancing entered my life, I quite forgot about that. So when I moved here and I was start trying to book a lot of jobs, and by saying trying, a lot of people were booking me as a solo artist.
Okay.
And never with the crew.
Okay.
With everyone.
Yeah.
And even the place that I used to work, I don't want to say any names.
Okay.
Like the place I used to say to work with.
Okay.
Dot. Even like I was presented as a solo artist when it was time to perform with the whole group, they put me on the back always.
Okay.
Never wanted to be in the front. And I was always like asking, I was just like, is it my height because I'm the tallest person in the room? Which makes sense too.
Yeah, but like, okay, you go to the back is like.
As a choreographer, I can see that. I'm just like, well, there is a Bruno Mars and there's a tall ass girl dancing in front of him, literally blocking him and all his crew because they're like, what, like gonna be like this to me?
Yeah.
So
Bruno Mars.
yeah, and I was just like, no, I had a huge, like I was dreaming to work with him.
Yeah.
Like, since I was in China, I was
He's
so
amazing.
obsessed. He's great. He's
amazing.
great.
He has like this marketing shit where he did that I think 2 times in Brazil. He like actually does a song like Brazilian funk. Ooh. And so people can actually engage better with the culture. Yeah. Right now he's like Bruno come to Brazil. Bruno,
I think I saw something
it was so
like this.
good. I was like,
no,
this
Bruno,
motherfucker.
Whatever he touches, like because
Gold.
he has a great and amazing sense of how things in the music has to be done. So he already knows how to create the moment that everyone's going to be enjoying this one. So anyway, again, talking about the tall girl dancing in the front. And at some point I was just like, let me try to start submitting to the model agencies, because I tried to submit to the dance agencies. Nobody took me. They was just like, thanks, bye. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I started submitting to the model agencies, and like model agency got back to me. One of them, I was just like, yeah, we kind of like you. Like, let's talk, let's chat. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, and I signed with them. And after that, my modeling started rolling. Like, I was just like, oh, it felt way easier than in the dance. Because like for the dance, I had to bust my ass off. You have to go to the dance classes to always show yourself and like to prove them, like, look at me, I'm a great dancer. And just like, I know I'm a great dancer. I don't want to prove you anything. Okay. And that's why a lot of dancers doesn't like me. Because like they got used to things that like, oh, you have to show the credit who you learned it from. Oh, you cannot dance this style because you didn't took my classes. Who the are you? Have you took my classes? So shut up. Like I'm that person, and it's just like, and not because I'm cocky. I know what I'm talking about, and I don't mind to say things that like
are truth.
Like, okay, I missed this thing. Like rename this thing, like say this thing's wrong or something like this,
Yeah.
like to call the movement not twist of flex but twist of schmex. Yeah, that was my mistake, for example.
Yeah.
So and in the modeling, I just literally start getting a lot of jobs, not a lot of, but like very good
More often
consistently.
rather than
Yeah, and I was
dancing,
just like,
probably.
I'm like, okay, interesting. I was just like, let me practice my walk, let's see how it goes. And I start booking, like I booked the Project Runway first season, like 19 season. Then I booked the Project Runway 20th season. Then I booked New York Fashion Week with like Elena Velez that got published in the Vogue. And I was just like, this is actually rolling for me. And I was just like, and it's interesting. But again, like I got there with a dancer mentality, thinking like even when I'm walking, I'm counting 5, 6, 7, 8 pose, hit switching, go, and 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's why I feel like this is helpful. It's
Okay.
very helpful too. I'm not doing this dancing, but I'm doing this as a model.
Yeah.
So switching from dancer to model was actually a little bit hard for the printing model, for the photo shoot model.
Yeah.
Like because you want to go like, oh, like all the like drama theatrical dancing
Yeah.
way. And a lot of dancers, when I see that they doing the photo shoots, they staying as a dancer.
Okay.
When you have to flip yourself and be a model.
Okay. That's
Model's more
interesting.
awkward. Model's more like regular people. If they're gonna sit, they're gonna sit like this. They're not gonna sit like this. Nobody, does it make sense? So it's
Yeah.
kind of gives you a little teeny tiny switch to understand, but I found it that it's very hard for a lot of dancers
I cannot
to
pose
to
in front of a
to,
camera.
to switch it, like to be a model, like a high fashion model or runway model or commercial model. We know how to be a dancers. So, and for me, entering this part of my life called modeling, I was just like, I kind of enjoyed it way more, and models get paid way more than dancers. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
So now you know. So it's true, and we have less work to do. Like whenever everybody says there's like, I mean, like, yeah, there's good like paid dance gigs,
Of
obviously.
course,
Like
but comparing all the
but
things you gotta do to get to
ask
this until
ask all the dancers when they get booked printing job and you get the check every year because they're using your face for the advertisement, and you're not doing anything. You're just getting the money.
yeah,
For the dance jobs, it's check after check, literally.
yeah,
Sometimes, like, I don't think that for the music videos you get like any royalties or
yeah. I
something.
don't
Like, you
think
can get
so.
it for movies, but again, like, it's
It's
very
weird.
questionable and hard.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I love this part. I love to be a model, especially when you start developing yourself, understand the field, understand the people, the clients that you want to work with, what they're looking for. That's awesome.
What's the difference between, from your perspective, of course, from like the dance community, and is there like, I guess there's a modeling community, right? What's the difference in your experience?
Like what, for example?
Like, for example, it's more competitive, the dance wise, modeling is more competitive. Which one do you think like people are a little bit more selfish with opportunities? You feel like, maybe I'm just making shit up. Maybe models are a little bit more chill because they get paid better. So it'd be like, yeah, you can get this job or whatever. My dancers might be like, no, let me get this job because like whatever, because of the financial thing. Or you feel like there's no difference, so you just go with the flow and then you get your gigs and that's it.
I feel for me personally, like when you get rejection as a model, right? Like, there's another girl standing in front of you,
Okay.
and let's say they chose her, and I'm just like, look at them, like her, and I'm just like, oh well, okay, they want to like skinny white girl with a long blonde hair. I'm not like this. Okay, that's mean it's not my job.
Yeah.
It's kind of two different ways that I cannot change myself. When in the dance world, you actually can go a little bit more saucy when you're dancing, or a little bit more calm. Like you
Okay.
can change your presence and kind of package in front of the casting director or slash choreographer who's like choosing for the project.
Okay.
That's why I feel that like dance community is a little bit more mean.
Okay.
That's what I think. In the model world, they like, well, like, why would you ask us to come if you're looking for some particular type? Like, that can be only an issue, Like,
Yeah.
but when you're saying just like all types are welcome, all like kind of like
Yeah,
skin
like,
colors, whatever
whatever.
they is, like all the ladies, like we're waiting for you.
Okay.
So yeah, then it's fine. Like we kind of understand that. In the dance world, again, I might be wrong. Maybe for somebody it's different.
Yeah.
But again, like my dance world that I grew up with is way different than American dancers. So
Okay.
in France, when you dance in the cipher, nobody screams at you. Nobody's
Okay.
like, let's go, brother. Woohoo! Like, let's hit it.
Okay.
Nobody
It's just
does that.
silence.
Everybody's just like looking at you like this.
Okay.
Like you, maybe now you start getting some approval. And then Russian dance circles. Oh my God, Russian dancers were so mean back in the days.
Okay.
Like when you go into dance, they're like, I'm that serious. Everyone's trying to, but again, like it's not because now they understand. It's not because they wanted to put you down. It's because this is how they're not confident in their own style.
Okay.
So I feel like this. And here, when I got to America and I see like you go into the cipher and like people like screaming at you, I'm just like, shh, I cannot hear a beat. It's important.
It's important.
And I'm like,
It's the music is important.
yeah, when you're dancing, you have to listen
Of
to it. Like, I
course.
remember I saw the clip of Les Twins. I think you know Les Twins.
Oh,
They
fuck
were
yeah.
dancing, and the people were so excited to see them. Like, I'm not quite sure. I cannot see who's who. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Larry or Laurent shows like, shh, like you have to,
get it.
because whatever he wants to show you, like with this music, like this
Much appreciation. You gotta
like
appreciate.
those small things. This is what the
Matter.
magic, yeah, it happens. This is when the like you look at this and you're like, oh my God, he can hear these like small things in the
Yeah.
background, but people so screaming and excited.
Yeah, he
So he
can-
showed his like, no, shut the fuck up. Let me show you actually, you know. So here when I got to America, and I was just like, why are you so supportive?
Why you so supportive?
I'm like, why would you like scream and cheer up to everyone? But
That someone that you
It's-
don't know.
at some point I felt it like so cool. Like I was just like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
They're supportive. And then another thing I found, this is a way different side of like it's a side effect.
Okay.
Because when you feel comfortable enough, you think that you're great.
Yeah.
But
That's
you're
also
actually
true.
not.
Yeah.
You have to work on your skills. So being in an uncomfortable zone with the Russian teachers who teach you ballet insanely hard, and they don't care about you if you feel in pain, if you feel legs are bleeding, like feet are bleeding, you're just like, I don't care. Keep going. Do the butt mom. So like or something. And then like afterwards, like French or Russian dance community.
Yeah.
It's just like the same. And when you like, this is the moments what pushes you off from the comfort zone.
Okay.
And you're like trying to be better and better and better and better and better, no matter what, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like this is, but like, again, like back to the like modeling and dancing.
Yeah.
I feel like models are chill, not because they don't have feelings of competition.
Okay.
I don't know why they are. I don't communicate with them a lot, honestly.
I just get my job,
I'm
get my
like,
money, and I'm out.
I just remember I'm just like, why am I? I'm just like, oh, I'm socially awkward. Okay, that's why. I'm just like, okay, fine. I mean, although like me and the girls from Project Runway, we had a group chat with like, and sometimes like when we see castings, we all like dropping in the same chat to each other, like
Okay.
to see. So like, hey guys, this is the casting. Go there. I think it's very supportive and nice.
Nice.
So I was just like, this is very sweet and hard. Like, how many dancers sharing with the auditions?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Like, okay, so being like with this the modeling stuff, right? I know you like did the runway for Vogue. Is that how you call it? Vogue or Vogue? Like how Vogue?
Vogue.
Yeah, that's that
Oh,
how
Vogue.
pronounced?
Yeah,
My
Vogue.
bad.
Vogue. Yeah.
So how is that experience? Like how you get booked? How is it like? Does it feel like very different working for a brand like that than from other brand, or is the same for you, or it was a dream for you come true? What was the experience?
It's just like first time when I booked New York Fashion Week, and they got published in the Vogue Runway US.
Yeah.
So that was like for Puma, and for designer, her name is John Coy,
Okay.
and we were booked as a dancers / models. So it kind of felt for me as a performance, and performance like when the dancers used as a models, and kind of there is no
Dancing it?
no, there is no particular like fashion experience.
Okay.
Like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It felt nice, and when I saw myself published in the Vogue, I think it was the second time. because it was the second time when I was published in the Vogue. I was like, kind of, okay, it feels good.
Okay.
It feels right. And again, when the exciting things like this happen for me, I kind of stay calm because I'm like, I've been working for that. I don't have just like, oh my God, this is just happened,
Okay.
you know? So like, I know towards the things that I'm working, and when those happens, I'm just like, that's logical because I've been working for that. I was working my ass off. Second time, like when it was like published in Vogue US, and it was Helena Velez, and she had her show in the mud. It was like insanely fun to participate. And I remember they texted me, they emailed me, hey, are you around? Can you come to the fitting in 2 hours? And I'm like, what? I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, who's that? And I was just like looking, and I'm just like, oh, okay, hell yeah, I'm coming.
She closed her book.
I do remember audition for them, which was fun, because so I got to audition for Elena Velez like literally the last 10 minutes,
Okay.
and they closed the line after me. They're just like, no, we're not taking anyone. Like I was literally the last person. Like maybe there was another person after me, so like maybe
But
two.
nothing crazy. Like,
So yeah, but like that's it. And I was just like, and besides, like I was teaching a class and I had my comp cards with me. When it's New York Fashion Week, you always have comp cards and heels with you, just in case. Like if somebody's just like, Christian Siriana's doing casting right now on the Upper West Side or something, you just like run right away. So like this can happen. So and I do remember I'm going to this casting and I'm just like, oh, okay, I have a time. I actually finished it. I'm like, 30 minutes. Okay, I'll show up. We'll see how it goes. I was so
calm.
I didn't care. Not in a bad way, but
Yeah,
I
like-
actually was just like, well, it is what it is. I was just like, I have this 30 minutes, it's close enough. So, and I got there and I remember look at the models, and in my head, I was just like, I was writing some script like for my short movie, and I was just like, okay, well, like, can I put the lights in there? What about like who I'm gonna ask to put the lights? Who's gonna be my DP? Maybe I'm gonna ask Lamont to do it, but like Lamont doing the camera work. I was like, my mind was totally in a different direction.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on here.
Okay.
And when I entered the room and the girl was like walking, there's my time to walk, and they're all sitting like on the table.
Okay.
And like this, like me and you have a table right now, and I'm like I'm at the end of the room and I'm standing there, and they will just like keep talking and just like, yeah, come, like start walking, and I'm like, see, they like not paying attention. I'm like, I'm not fucking walking when you're doing the shit in your phone.
Facts.
And they like look at me and I'm like, are you ready to look? I said it to them. I'm just like, I spent my 30 minutes to come here and this is time, and I'm not getting paid for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't say that, but I said that. I'm like, are you
In
ready
this
to
one.
watch?
Yeah.
Are you ready to put your phones down? And they're like, oh. I mean, like, not who's that bitch. And I was, again, I'm respectful.
Yeah,
I'm
but
polite.
it's mutual.
But exactly. I got here and I'm ready to show you my skills when you're going to
Yeah.
be respectfully looking at me what I'm doing. So, and I remember I walked and they looked at each other, nod, they took my snapshot, and then they asked me to come back.
Okay.
So that's how it's happened. So when I was working with Elena, I truly actually think she's an amazing artist. She's like so good. And I got published again, and we had a chance to be in the mud and like had a fight in the mud. It was so much fun. It's so weird. I know, right? Like it's just like we're walking. There is like snap, and we just like have to start
Mud.
fighting. Like it's so fun. And then
You're like, I'm getting paid for this.
and then I'm just like, in fact, no. So
You're like, in fact, no.
a lot of big work sometimes, like you have to collaborate with them as a like you have a sometimes trade.
Yeah.
So like they're giving you pictures, they're giving you clothes, and sometimes you're getting paid for the runways.
Of
And
course.
most of the time, like my personal experience, I got paid for the runways that like not known designers,
Okay.
not something very big. And I
Okay.
also heard from my friends photographers who just like I mean, like obviously the big campaigns with the big names, with the big photographers, and they all got paid.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things based on collaboration.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why a magazine editorial is still editorial. Sometimes you're not getting paid for that.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a lot of people
It's
think
interesting.
a lot of people think it's just like, oh, I want to be like in the Vogue or something like this.
Okay.
Sometimes, I mean, like I'm pretty sure like when it's like big production, etc. So they got paid, but like if you're gonna look to the Vogue editorials, like, or Harper's Bazaar editorials, like when the girls are walking and they get published, that's probably unpaid shoot.
Okay.
In fact, yeah, like it is what it is.
But it's also is a
that's
very good
okay. It's
to have it in your resume.
absolutely, this is your portfolio. This is how you build that. Like it's the same thing
not
with
the
the
same.
it's with the TV shows. At most of the TV shows you're going and they like paying you like
A penny.
daily like $80 or $50 per day so you can buy like cheeseburger or something like this.
Okay.
But why you're going to the TV shows? To get exposure.
Yeah.
So like after you're getting exposure, you get more
Yeah, because it's not the
bookings.
same. Like for example, if like a regular model, like is probably is getting paid every gig. But
Yeah.
I see someone with the Vogue portfolio, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
it's just totally different.
Yeah, like I think Coco Rocha said, she said, you booking the job for bank or for book. So which is fun. And I was just like,
Fuck.
that's a very good way to say it and handle it. Like you booking the job for bank, it's mostly gonna be some toothbrush or hairbrush or something that you don't wanna like show to the people like, hey, I was like in the tampon advertisement. You don't wanna put it in your portfolio, right? You'd rather like put like free job that you done for Vogue.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, hey, but they pay me every day for every year from the tampon and like advertisement, something like this,
Got
right?
you.
So it's and
So interesting.
yeah, so it's like this.
Wow. That's like for me, I'm like a.
Really?
I mean, yeah, cause like I mean, in the dance world, also like from my experience, you know, there's like pay gigs and other not. But I'm very ignorant in like model field.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like different. Like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, every time they're getting paid, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, okay, like it's similar kind of ish.
Yeah, like it's the whole industry like this. And again, like in the dance world, like sometimes people telling you like, oh, you're gonna dance for Madonna, let's say, right?
Yeah.
But we're not gonna pay you. It's only up to you, like if you want to get this job or not. Like in fact, they offered me once time to be in Madonna music video to pay
Okay.
$100 from. It was overnight shot from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. And I said like, how much is the pay? And they say $100, and I'm like, no. And I'm like, I mean, with my love to Madonna, I love Madonna, I respect her as an
I gotta
artist.
pay the rent.
But I'm like, again, like I don't know if it's on her or like it's her casting team
Probably
or people
casting
who's just
team,
like,
I
I
don't
have
know.
no idea. This is on them.
Yeah, like
It's like if you're an artist like Madonna, you probably know how it feels to be non-paid artist
Of course.
because she's been through all those things as well. So it's up on her if she want to pay or not pay to her people, to her dancers.
yeah.
So, but like when I heard this one, just like $100, no. And
That's
I
12
remember I
hours.
was like, overnight shot, hell no. And I there was a music video with Takisha.
Tokisha? I know
Yeah, like
Takisha.
those they did two together, and
Oh, I think I know what it is.
you know what I'm talking
okay,
about,
yeah.
And I watched that. I watched the video. I was curious.
Yeah,
who
of
said
course.
yes. I was curious who said yes for this job, and I'm like looking at them, and I'm just like,
Okay,
that's your choice.
of course.
That's your choice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, going back to I'm like Russia. No, I'm just kidding. What do you think? Like, is it like okay? So let me put my mind together. Because me, for example, we have like especially in my country, we have this stereotype like Russians are very like cold and very like aggressive and like so. From your perspective, is that true or like you have like meaning like I'm not saying like you exactly, but you like lived in Russia and everything. How is the society in Russia compared to like the American society?
You said like that we are cold and aggressive. That's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, we're way worse. We're way worse.
You got me cracking.
It's just like, you don't believe me, right? I'm just like, well, I got to be honest.
Okay, wait a second. I can't get my shit together. That's the funniest part.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now we know. It's okay.
Okay, in what ways are you guys worst?
Talking that like Russians not friendly. I heard it a lot, and we're not friendly. We're just like, I guess we're more suspicious. Like we're
Okay.
more suspecting other one. I'm just like, why are you smiling at me? Do you want something from me? He probably wants something from me. Okay, I'm gonna look what you're gonna do. Okay, keep smiling. Okay, hmm bring the brothers. I think he
Bring the
has something.
brothers.
He has something in his mind. Yeah. Okay, keep talking. Keep talking. Yes. Do you want any problems? Yes. And like kind of, and like we you don't see Russians like this is funny. Like when I got to Russia back, like
Okay.
this couple months ago,
Of course.
and I got introduced to someone, and I was just like, "Hey, what's up? How are you doing?" They're just like, "Yeah, we can see you're not from here anymore. Like you look too friendly, too happy."
No.
Yeah. So in Russia, they don't have a small talk.
Okay.
Like here, just like, "Hey, how are you? What can I get you? Like, do you would like some coffee?" Like you go into Starbucks, you're getting like small talk. "Hey, how are you today?"
Yeah.
In Russia,
Being
like
polite.
what? Coffee? Okay. Just you got here for coffee. Why? I don't need to know about your business.
Yo.
And this
I
is
love that shit.
and this is like again, like that's pretty much my personality. Again, I'm polite. I'm well mannered around the people, and but you probably never gonna hear me like me and you, man, and just like, "Hey, how are you?" "I'm doing well," because we keep going with the conversation. I know we go
Yeah.
into the studio like to record this stuff and all
Okay,
these
yeah.
things, but you're never gonna see me to going and ordering something and just like asking somebody, "How are you?" Because I'll be honest, I don't care how the waiter is going today.
Love it.
And besides, the fact that they're gonna say like, "I'm doing very well, thank you,"
They're
most of the
not.
times it's a lie.
Yeah.
And second of all, like if I want to know this lie, do I want to go into conversation with this
Ooh, I
person?
love this shit.
We do have words like when we do have ask somebody if like, "Are you okay?" or "How are you doing today?" is because we might see something wrong. And if we see something wrong, that's mean we are willing and ready to help. So that's the reason why we're asking, "How are you?"
So meaning we can say like it's more honest. If you can say like if I'm
they're
gonna
like,
ask like how are you, it's
but
because I do actually care. Like
yeah,
how are you?
so kind of this way. But I do understand why people think that like Russian is like more poker face and more like cold blooded, if
Yeah.
that's the right word to put into. I think it's like when the USSR was broken in 1992 and
Okay.
it became Russia, and the Bolsheviks like was all around there like back in the days. It's like kind of was not the best times for the country, not from the perspective of political way, right? Like I'm trying to be not political. I don't like those things. It's the way the people were growing up. The people were living their daily life, like let's say not having enough food, not having enough clothes, not having enough warm walls around your home or something like this, losing the jobs. Even they had the sayings just like, "Why are you laughing? If you're gonna laugh a lot, you're gonna like get into trouble really fast." So they got this mentality, like the mentality of thinking that like things can go bad way if it's going well now. So better stay steady so nobody can see you. If nobody can see you, you're not gonna get into trouble, if
Okay,
that
gotcha.
makes sense.
Yes.
But also don't forget what kind of Russian writers was like developed back in the days, like
Okay.
from 18th century, like or earlier. It was Dostoevsky, it was Tolstoy, and if you're gonna read those people who likes to go under your skin, you will understand why people are so depressed. Or like Sergei Yesenin, he's like he's a poet, but when you're gonna read his poems and whatever the heck he wrote, you just feel a little bit like this. You feel frown a
Yeah.
bit, like you it's a great philosophy to put you into, like to see the deepest of the soul, like to see the deepest and darkest moment of your soul.
Okay.
However, to live day to day like this, to teach the kids who was in the 5th grade to read Dostoevsky, or like some Russians just like, "We're not reading in the 5th grade Dostoevsky." I did. So just like, or whatever, 8th grade, like when you're 14, 15 years old, it's a heavy literature. It's a very heavy literature. Like one of our books was like Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, when he's like killing the old lady with his, what was it, like hammer or whatever. I don't remember the word in English. So like he killed the lady for money, the young guy. And like we like learning this like on 8th or 9th grade, 14, 15 years old kids
Yeah.
who doesn't know what the heck is going to be when they're alive. Do you think we're going to grow up happy and saying like, "How are you doing?"
Hell
Come
no.
on. Come on, it's like again, and nobody taught us to. Nobody taught us to of the way of positive thinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was always just like you go into the work, you being loyal to your family, you be loyal to your government, shut up and do the things right. That's pretty much it. And
Okay.
that's why a lot of people like get used to this living. So in
Okay.
Russia. So that's why you see a lot of front faces. They never being friendly with you. However, I do consider Russians friendly.
Okay.
Because if you're gonna get lost, they're gonna like ask you like, "What do you want from me? Wanna go? Well, let's go. I'll show you where you need to go." They like, and you're like, "Are you screaming at me, or are you like, I'm showing you where to go? Let's go. What are you standing? Let's go." And they kind of lead you the way. They just not in like more like
Oh, sweetie,
fluffy.
how are you?
They're not fluffy. They're not sugarcoating or something.
Okay.
Yeah, like even again in Russian schools or like Russian ballet teachers, it's just like, you think I'm gonna tell you that you like lifting your leg like this is enough? Here, look at the mirror. You see, you look like a fat cow. Bring it higher. And you like, you understand how the fat cow looks, and you're like, oh, holy
I don't want to look like that.
I don't want to look like that. I'm gonna bring it a little bit higher. And then he goes
Okay.
to your parents and says like, she called me a fat cow, and they're like, yeah, you probably need to stop eating a little. Yeah,
Damn.
and that's in the fact that's truth. What they're telling to you.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, I think our kids is a little bit overweight. Eat more vegetables. They're not gonna like, oh, you look so great, honey. Don't worry about anyone. Like, we're gonna find somebody who's gonna love you the way you are. No. They trying to get in the best way, like of the healthiest way or whatever it is. So they're gonna tell you the truth. So yeah.
I like it. And then I feel
You
like
like it now till the moment you're gonna visit Russia and see this like life.
I mean the idea though. I like the idea because I think I was talking to you in the car. I was like, do I really want to go to this or this? And I'm like, I don't want to go there. Like, we're talking about like some meetings and stuff like
Yeah.
family things. I'm like, I don't want to go there, but I have to go so I can be polite. So in that way, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if like living in Russia. I don't know.
I mean, like if you leave this like day after day, it feels a bit heavy. Yes, absolutely. But it's always side effects. It's never good or bad.
Of course.
It is what it is. Like in America, everyone's so nice and polite and smiling into your face, and then just like, let's fire this person.
Fact.
So like they kind of just like, you're doing such a great
Hypocrisy.
job. You're doing such a great job, sweetie. And by the way, today's your last day when you're teaching. So and that happened to me. Yeah, I was just like, okay,
Oh,
it's on you.
shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, it happens. It's part of life.
Yeah.
I guess. I just want to touch before I like go to another part. We're almost done. I saw a picture with David Goggins.
David Goggins. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Like, well, how did this happen? It was just a picture. You had the experience to like talk to him for a little bit, or how was it?
Photoshop.
Now I'm gonna be like, what? I like it.
David Goggins. Well, that's a very interesting figure. So Goggins happened in my life. When that's happened, I think a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I think I got onto his video from Joe Rogan or something like this.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he gave an interview to Joe Rogan on his podcast.
Yeah, he did.
And that was a moment for me when I didn't felt quite in the right place. So
Okay.
the last year and a half, I actually changed my life a lot. So this is kind of brand new me that you're seeing. Like if you would see me like around the year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, it was a different person.
Okay.
So I've been going through some things, but I'm glad those passed. So,
Okay.
and I remember like just feeling kind of whack and not motivated and like kind of lost. And that was when I mentioned you before, there was like a period in my life when I was
Yeah.
just like actually lost the way I'm thinking. I actually lost the way who the hell I am and what I
Okay.
want to do with this life.
Okay.
So I remember like finding this video like David and being like saying something like insanely, your camera is about to die.
Oh yeah,
This
got you.
one,
Don't worry.
just so you know.
It always does.
Yeah. And I was like listening to him. I was just like, wait, what is this dude saying? And my inner voice that like always been there is just like, it's me, I'm almost freaking dead. That's what I meant to you. Get up. Get your ass up. So David Goggins, technically, he helped me to hear myself way better.
Okay.
And that's I was just like, interesting. Because I never felt that Goggins is my main motivation, that he's like, I never been a fan, if that makes sense, but I
Yeah.
do have a huge respect for him.
Yeah. Is it? I
And
think more of the message.
and I also do have a huge thanks to whatever the heck it is, or YouTube, or I don't know, that like this video happened in the perfect period of time for myself. I saw him at the right place when my mind went switching, and I was just like listening to him, and then I realized like, oh, this is the voice that I almost lost inside of my head. So like I listened a couple of his interviews, and I was like, okay. And it's like I start hearing my own voice way louder, like rather than like I heard him, or like my previous voice that was just like felt frown or down. And I was just like, holy shit. And this is what kept me waking up. Like I was able to reshape myself back to who I were, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this makes total sense.
So, and I remember I watched him and I was just like, I'm like, this dude is insane. I'm so happy. I'm thinking the same fucking way. I'm like, I'm so happy because like I know I'm not the one person who just like said, fuck the parties, fuck everything. You have to
Yeah.
work hard. People say you have to work harder. You have to work smarter, not harder. And I truly believe you have to work and hard and smart.
Okay.
So this is the moment when you're gonna be great, because again, being great is a hard ass job. So, and I saw him just like, I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And I'm just like, I'm so happy that like if another person like this exists in the world. And I'm like, that's mean I'm thinking right. That's mean like, because a lot of people were telling like, oh, you're outsider. Why would you don't like to go to party with us? Why don't
Okay.
you want to go like cipher jam with us and drink a lot of stuff, whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. And I remember the day, it was August. I think last year or something. I'm not quite sure. So I think last year, yeah. And I was walking to teach some dance class, and I was thinking like, imagine the Goggins would be running like in the Central Park at 4 a.m. And I'm like, would I stop him? Like, I'm asking myself, like,
Yeah.
would I stop him and talk to him? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I would be fucking running next to him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you're gonna give me 2 minutes of attention because, like, I mean, I just wanted to tell him
Thank you.
thank you, but
Yeah.
not in the thank you for changing my life. Thank you that I don't need him anymore in my life.
Yeah.
Because my voice is strong enough. And like, I was like, yeah, I would tell that to him.
Okay.
And then keep him running. This is what
Keep
he
doing
does.
your thing.
Yeah. Fun thing. I'm meeting my friend who actually like, and I like, we're talking with her, and like, we're talking about the workout routine, and she saw that like I changed my workout routine. I like lost 15 pounds and I start getting look better and etc. And she says something, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna doing this like David Goggins or something. And I mentioned his name or in a conversation.
Okay.
And she's like, how do you know him? And I'm like, well, it's David Goggins. I think the guy's pretty popular. I said, like, I saw him on a Joe Rogan podcast. And I'm like, I look at some of his things, etc., etc. So that's happened that this friend helped me to meet him. Yeah. And in the fact, like, I got the book signed from him, like for me personally, like, about his journey. And I was just like, and I didn't feel excited. I felt it was right.
Nice.
I felt that like, okay, so everything that I'm working on and my energy go high enough that I'm actually already that close to meet Goggins and tell him what I wanted to tell him, like literally 2 minutes ago when I was walking on the street without any sign that I'm actually going to be able to meet this guy.
Yeah.
So, and like time passed by, he was in New York, and again, like just not bringing the names in, but like
Yeah.
people helping out. And like I did met him, and I said him exactly the same thing. I said, thank you so much, but not for your books, but thank you that I don't have to listen to you anymore. I thank you that I don't have to read anything about you anymore. I don't need your podcasts. I'm finally happy with me. And I'm like finally freaking happy to have my own voice that can beat any other voice in the room. And he was like, that's a badass. And I'm like, thank you.
That's a badass.
And I'm like, thank you very much. I'll see you around. And
Picture.
that's was like, yeah. And like we took a couple of pictures and I spoke with his wife. She's gorgeous, freaking gorgeous. I'm like, she's really gorgeous. And I'm just like, he's a lucky motherfucker. I'm like, yeah. And we just like ended up like this. But I felt that I want to tell this to him. But again, I know that he changed a lot of lives. And I truly think that he's amazing. But also, I always had this weird feeling about motivational speakers and I'm like, oh, you're coming on the stage motivating, etc. But at the same time, cool thing about Goggins, if we're gonna take this part away from him, like motivational speaking, he's still gonna be a bad motherfucker who's running his miles and like doing
he's not
his
doing
things.
it for the business.
Yeah, this is his lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's what makes me respect him a lot. Like that's an amazing thing. And like again, knowing his life journey, how he went from like being like spraying for cockroaches or whatever it is, right? Like, and being able to cut this part off from his life and recreate himself. So like I still have a huge respect for him, but the bigger respect I have for myself. Nice. In that case. So, but yeah, we met, we had this like 2 minutes like to talk. And again, I'm extremely grateful for every single person who actually helped to make this happen. I'm just like, they know like how grateful I am. Yeah. I was just like, because I was just like, I literally just thought, and my thought was like, you know, like it skipped the line to the universe and it's like, oh, I can make it now.
Right now.
And I felt it like, oh shit.
Like,
yeah, like a snap of the fingers. So yeah, that was nice. But he's amazing. He is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very good story, actually. Like, even like what you said, because like it's not what a regular person will say. I'll probably say like, thank you, bro. Like, that was so bad. And, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
And that was like how, like he said, like it was a badass answer.
But I think that's the purpose of any motivational speaker, to
a real one.
Yeah, like, and again, like Goggins, I do consider him a real one motivational speaker. But also, if you're gonna ask him, like he never, like even like in his book and like in one of his interviews, he said like, I never believed in motivation. I believe in a discipline.
Yes,
this is what everyone says. Like this is what Mike Tyson said. Yeah. Like this is what Khabib says. Like none of the people gonna tell you like, oh, you need a little bit motivation and inspiration. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
you need a discipline. Like get your ass up. Like it's cold outside. Who cares about your balls? Go and run. Go, just do it, you know? So that's even feels for me right now to remembering this, like you brought it on the table. I had the same with the Twitch though, when I went to See You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about, right now that was the next question. So talking about like popular things right now, right? Very quickly. So You Think You Can Dance, you audition for it, then you get in. How dare you going and say, you want to battle me? Wow, like what the fuck? What happened in your mind? Like, wait, what make you say like that right now in that moment?
Because I felt extremely calm.
Okay.
I felt extremely calm in the fact I have a lot of weird feedback when it's happened. A lot of dancers, and I'll be honest, a lot of Black community was just like, what the fuck you think you are? You're the white chick who's asking like Twitch to battle. First of all, people, you have to know one small thing. Whatever you watch on the TV can be cut. And the purpose is to make things more drama, okay? I think people forget those things. Yeah. Like even they see creators like outside on the street recreating and doing the stuff. No, you cannot get like fucking ice cream falling like from the tree on you. It's all edited. Yeah. People cut videos.
Okay.
I was just like,
okay.
A lot of people were just like talking to me after that, just like, how dare you like to ask Twitch? Do you know who he is? Like, and a lot of bullshit. I didn't ask Twitch particularly. I knew that he's only one person who's gonna not be in.
He's just a guy.
Not that he's not gonna be afraid. I know why he stepped in. We had a conversation with him after when the camera was off.
Of course.
Outside on the street when there is nobody, no producers, nobody who can like catch us. Because like I needed to talk to him about that.
Okay.
But and I again, like me and Twitch, we left like a freaking best friends. And Twitch was one of the inspirational figures for me in the dance industry, because I'm just like, this is the dancer who does popping, hip hop, breaking, locking, house dance, who actually made it in the industry and made it in a high level enough, you know? So I always wanted to meet him. Like, besides for So You Think You Can Dance, I got booked after I got booked for NBC Dancing with Myself.
Okay.
So they asked me to be there. There's supposed to be like Lisa Lisa Koshy, this like girl in French. She's very funny. So this like new dance TV show. So when
Okay.
NBC booked me, I got email from Fox.
Okay.
And they're just like, oh, we want you for So You Think You Can Dance. And I'm just like, but I'm already booked for NBC. And I'm like, can I do both? And NBC said like, yeah, you can do it. Fox said like, no, we want you exclusively. So, and I was just like thinking what I want to do. And then I'm like asking like, who's going to be in the judges? And they're like, well, Twitch. I'm like, I'm coming. I'm like, NBC,
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
out.
I need to meet this guy.
Yeah.
I always had
Okay.
this dream to meet and talk to him and practice and dance.
Okay.
So in the fact, talking about the battle, I knew this is going to happen. If you're going to call Chelsea, and she's a producer, you literally can't find the footage when I'm saying like, well, when the judge is going to tell me, no, I'm going to ask them to battle and see who's going to win. So I knew that thing.
Okay.
There is a lot of different reasons
Yeah. Okay.
why I wanted to do that.
Okay.
So the moment when you see that Twitch cut as me and like kind of cut my performance like during the dance and all the stuff, that's never happened. They watched the show till the end.
Okay.
So, and the fact that I said like, would you like to battle me? And you see reaction of Jojo to saying like, let's go Twitch. I asked Jojo first. I said like, would you like to battle me?
Okay.
Maybe you, sir. Like another judge, his name is, I don't know, Matthew something, like the
Okay.
Broadway guy that like who was there for a while.
Okay.
So I asked him and I asked Twitch.
Yeah.
And obviously when I asked first Jojo and this guy,
You're like-
like I see Twitch doing like this. I knew that he's like, he understood the perspective that I'm coming from, honestly, because that was enough for me to like, when I stepped in on the stage, when they start asking you questions, they're not showing this to you like on the TV. They took this part off.
Okay.
And when teacher's just like, yeah, so what you doing? I'm just like, I'm doing popping. I was practicing with the wiggles, and I was just like, took some classes with people. It was very fun. And I was just like, you can start talking with the dancers. You already understand if the dancer is in the right place.
Of course,
Like,
yeah.
or just like, oh, I'm just doing the waves. I like
Of
to watch the
course.
You understand where is this education.
What the background,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, and I was just like talking like with him. I see he's like, oh, she knows what she's talking about.
Of
Besides,
course.
we jammed before the filming. So
Okay.
like we danced together. Like
Heck yeah, it was good.
So, I mean, like on the set, not like outside of the
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
So, and when I asked this thing, they cut it till the moment when like it's supposed to be Twitch only.
Okay.
Like kind of, I'm asking Twitch to go out. And
Okay.
in fact, I knew that he's gonna say yes.
Okay.
In fact, I was ready to battle him. So, and I was just like, you want to have a show? I'm gonna give you a goddamn show. Because you're thinking I'm just gonna be like,
Okay.
I don't
thank
know,
you,
like,
bye.
thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, you're
I said,
looking-
I know who the hell I am, and I know what
course.
kind of dancer I am. The reason why I chose particular piece, like to not winning piece, even I knew this like piece that I created wasn't the like mind blowing or something like this, but I knew that, and I knew that like the way I wanted to things to end up.
Yeah.
And my main goal for So You Think You Can Dance was to meet Twitch.
Okay.
And I got my reward. In fact, who won the season 17?
I don't know.
Nobody knows, right? Because the bald chick was battling Twitch. This is so... But this is true. Like, let's say we even talk about like breakdance Olympics.
Okay.
Like, who won the breakdance Olympics?
I don't know.
We know that this Australian girl breakdancer, and in this time, you cannot judge people in just like, oh, she was like, first of all, she had a very good moves.
Yeah.
She was clean. Her musicality was on that. Like, she was like doing some funky stuff. Like, I mean, it's still dancing. Breaking is still
Yeah.
dancing, not just tricks.
Yeah.
And like, look at her power moves. I'm looking at that. I'm like, I cannot do that. I know this thing is hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and when somebody's like, what do you think about it? I'm like, she's actually can do things. So shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. You cannot do even the half of what she's doing.
Right.
So because it looks easy and clean, people think like, oh,
Like it's
like
so
it's
easy
nothing,
to do. Like,
or
yeah.
it's not like person's not flipping or not jumping into the split, right? And again, talking about exposure and going from the like PR side, right? Or marketing side. Let's be honest. Who are you going to be talking about? The girl who won Olympics, or who girl who's just like people was putting her costumes in the Halloween?
Bro, she
Who
got
got
like
who won in this situation?
she won.
Exactly. So, and my point is about that. Like, I do have this strategy in my head.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, especially when it comes to the TV. TV is not a real life.
Nah,
It's
it's not.
imagination. It's like
course.
imaginary world. And whenever the people says like it's non-scripted TV, like this is like happens in real life. Come on.
This is spontaneous.
I'm like, you just got to me and said like you have to be back like for the season 18. Come on. Well, I'm like, come on, it's all scripted.
Yeah.
And this is okay. This is fine for us to remember those things, because like I do understand for like majority of people it's more like they watching the TV, they believe everything what they see.
Yeah.
But this is not like this.
Yeah.
So, and this is another fun part for me, like for when people from who works in the industry comes to me with the like and talking like people who not works in the industry.
Yeah.
And just like, oh wow, and I'm like, you work on this stuff, you in the fact like editor.
Yeah.
Like you know how the things can be cut, and you still believe in those things. I'm like, okay, I'm out. So but again
I'm gonna just head out.
But again, like I went there to see Twitch. I went there to battle him, and I obviously I didn't know how quiet it's gonna happen.
Boy, it happened.
It happened, yeah, and it's just like
it's a good memory to have.
So absolutely, and I never regret the moment, because
like who has a memory like that?
Yeah, like I was I'm not quite sure. Like in the beginning, like again, so you think You Can Dance has like billions of seasons? Oh my god,
it was like never
I cannot
ends.
remember this. Yeah, so it's one of my favorite memories, and because Twitch no longer with us anymore, and this is one of the. I would regret my ass off if I wouldn't do that, if I wouldn't spoke with him afterwards, if I wouldn't thank him after in Instagram and send him message and had like brief conversation. I would regret it till the rest of my life. Because you see, we don't know what's going to happen next, what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So, yeah.
You might as well just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay, good. We're getting to the end part of the conversation. Good. This part is just I'm asking questions. It can be brief questions, but it doesn't mean you need to answer briefly.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, you can like give a long response, or you can give me a short one. Good. Okay, good. So, how do you feel you've grown or evolved as a person over the years?
Over the years?
Yeah.
I feel good.
Okay. What is something people often misunderstand about you?
I don't know. I don't care about the people. I don't care if they misunderstand or understand me.
Nice. What was a defining moment in your life that shaped who you are?
Trust. When I start trusting myself more than anyone else in this world. And this moment hit a couple years ago.
Nice. What are your thoughts on mental health?
It's a hard question. You know that, right? What are my thoughts on mental health? Because if you want me to answer that, like you have to ask me widely. But if you want a brief answer for that, I don't have any thoughts on mental health.
Okay.
Particularly my mental health.
Okay.
So,
good. If you were doing modeling, what do you think you would be doing and why?
I would be doing modeling, and I can do whatever I want to, and I will be doing whatever I want to. So, as you know, my next goal and future goal is to be a movie director and be an actress. So, yeah.
Nice. How do you feel about the version of yourself?
Say it again?
How do you feel about the version of yourself that the world sees?
Now?
Yeah.
It's only a matter how I see myself.
Okay. What does success mean to you personally?
I think for me personally, success is like a pregnancy. Everybody congratulates you, but nobody knows how many times you were fucked. That's like... Yeah.
Okay. What? I'm sorry, bro.
It's
That
okay.
was amazing. What's a side of you that people rarely get to see?
What's the side of me that people really gets to see?
Rarely.
Oh, rarely.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Oh, okay. Um, I get to see. Probably, well, I would say walking naked, but I do it pretty often on the gigs. So, um, I think whoever sees me, they have their own picture of myself, and I'm pretty sure that nobody actually have clear or even close image of who I am, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think we're talking about like some characteristics or some inner things. Let's say like, oh, they never seen that I would be kind or I would be mean or something like this. But luckily for me, I'm not responsible for whatever image they created in their head. So whatever they have, good luck and joy. And whatever they never seen, good luck and joy too.
Nice. What's something about your journey that you wish more people knew?
Nothing. Nothing. I'll show my journey through my art, through the things that I direct, through the things that I create. And if there is going to be a smart eye that can see some particular things about me, great. If no, enjoy the art.
Nice. If you could describe your life in one word right now, what would it be and why?
If I would call what?
If you could describe your life in one word right now, what would it be and why?
What is crive?
No, describe. Describe.
Describe. What is this?
Describe like describe this box. So the
Oh,
box.
describe.
Yeah.
Describe. I thought you said describe, and I was like, describe. What is describe?
I don't
So
know.
if
I'm
I would
sorry.
describe, my life in the one word, what
Yeah.
would it be? Oh, okay.
And why?
Um, joy. I have so much joy of being myself, to create what I love, and I have so much joy to say no to the things and to the people that I no longer want to have in my life.
Nice. What's the worst advice someone has given you?
Things are not simple.
What's the best advice someone gave you?
I don't think I have an answer for that.
Okay, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I think,
What's that one?
I mean, like you asking me to say, and I feel responsible to think before I'm saying things,
Of course, you
Because
had to.
I
You don't
feel
have to.
like
Pop.
people sometimes just like this one, this one, this one is just like you prepared. The best advice I ever had is
Don't worry, because people cut videos, so Rudy's gonna do that.
yeah, it's true. I'd probably repeat a lot the last advice from my mom that she told me. She said, "You cannot be emotionally involved in any situation that you are in."
Oh,
So I love that. Yeah.
nice. Well, that's this. What's an advice that you thought it was good, and it ended up being bad?
You should go easy on yourself, Shug. You should go easy. Take it easy. Things shouldn't be hard. Take it easy.
Okay.
And one of the dancers told it to me. And even like at some point, I believed him. But like a couple days after, and I'm just like, no, you're bullshitting me. As one of those people who likes to make excuses.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What do you fear?
Nothing.
Okay. How do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, you're going to see me making movies. And
Watch that.
yeah, and the fun fact, I do have a plan for the next 10 years. So it's literally reading almost like for every month.
You're bugging.
Yeah, so
That's
God.
crazy.
Yeah. So
For me, I'm not calling you crazy. It's
because
just like,
again, vision is clear and I
of
know where I
course.
want it to be. So you're probably going to see me, not probably, you will see me working with my favorite people like Quentin, wait for me. I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. So, and making movies and yeah, probably gonna buy a dog if we're talking about some normal mortal things. Mortal things, yeah. But making the movies, being in the movies, and making creating the things what I love the most.
Nice. What's an unpopular opinion you have?
About
It can be any topic. It can be either like from food, either from food to like social social behavior or something like that.
unpopular opinion what I have about anything, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a popular opinion.
I know people like avocado. I don't like avocado. That's an unpopular opinion.
I love rain. I
Okay.
love rain. It's the best weather in the entire world.
You like to go out in the rain?
I love to go out in the rain. I think a lot of people don't like the rain. A lot of people, when you're gonna see them coming in, it's just like this weather is what she said. It's disgusting. And in my head, I was just like, that's not about the rain you're talking about, girl. And I love rain a lot. Like that's like again back to the more mortal things. Like, but yeah, I feel like rain is my thing.
Nice. So, I didn't know if you're familiar with it, but every guest that I have here, I always give a gift to that person. As I always say, like if people actually watch every single podcast, right? I like that our gift to be like meaningful. So meaning something that it actually means something for you, and so you can take it wherever you want, right?
Is it Channing Tatum?
What is that?
Channing Tatum?
What I don't know what is that. What is
Channing
that?
Tatum?
I don't know what is that.
Channing Tatum, actor.
I don't know.
Channing Tatum, he was like in a Step Up.
Oh, maybe
And
if I see
Magic Mike.
him like
And Magic Mike.
oh
Channing Tatum.
I don't know his name. I just know like
Yeah. The guy from Magic Mike.
I'm like, here is it.
just
Like it's a
let's say-
keychain.
Yeah, just like play.
Like great.
Hey Siri, play play Pony. Just do
Bro.
it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Holy shit, you heard me. Sorry. My Siri just like, you just need to ask.
say less. Okay. So in this moment I like to make like a kind of a recap of like the things we talked today about like what you shared with us today, right? In this case we talked with Anastasiia. I said it right, I guess.
Yes.
About her journey, right? Like the things from like growing up in Russia and then living with a French dad, right? You know, like feeling different from other people, even in society, feeling a little different, but actually not caring, which is like kind of crazy for me, right? Because like the normal thing is like, oh, like I care like that people actually like me or stuff like that include me. It was not your case, right? We talked about you living in China for 2 years without having any like financial education, which is also crazy, right? It's like meaning like it tells me like you're just like such a risker, such someone that wants to just wants. That I would leave it like that. For me, like
Okay.
if I have a not a conclusion, but like if I have to describe you as a person with this conversation, I'm like it's someone that just wants to live, wants to achieve, wants to work, you know, like wants to live. So you know, talk about your relationship with your parents, you know, like that moment of like, yo, I want to do something different. I feel different. Like getting to, oh, like you were ready to get married with someone. It's like, oh shit. Like it's pretty mind blowing, right? For example, me, which I'm from another culture where you can like, it's not a arranged type of stuff, right? So meaning you come from a very different background and you came to another whole different world without knowing like what was out there, not being even prepared, right? It was just like a risk taker, right? We talked about how you came to America with $800, but you felt like you were a millionaire. And then after like 1 week, you were like, nope.
Not the millionaire at all.
Good. And we talked about like how you feel, how you control your emotions like your feelings actually. Yeah, did I say right? Yes, right?
No, emotions. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just,
Okay, and just like you let us know, not let us know you as a person, rather than like, oh, like it's this model of this dancer. Like I feel like we were able to connect, or at least I connected with like, oh, like damn, like she's a real person. Like she feels, she has her struggles. You mentioned also like how 2 years ago you were not in like the best shape, you can call it like that, mentally, maybe physically. You lost like 15 pounds, right?
yeah.
So that means like, damn, you are trying all the time to make it so much better for you, even though you were like not in your best. And you just work, you're so hard worker. You don't care about what people think, and you actually mean it.
Because what? I'm Russian,
I'm
right? I
Russian.
guess.
And I for sure learned so much things that I can take for my personal journey from your life. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for having you in my space. Grateful for your time also. And I feel like even whenever you go and you know, like you go and do your movies, right? Because you know, like life, it's up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. I feel like this gift is something that it can actually remind you of all the things you do. Because I don't want to say who you are, because only you know who you are. Like I cannot know who you are just like with this. I felt like a deep conversation, which I like, but just you, only you know, like you know, you feel me?
Yep.
But I feel like this is something. So whenever, if we touch knock on wood or whatever you say it, that you don't go through something like that like 2 years ago again. But if you go to, then you have something to go back and be like, this is what I do, this is who I am, and this is what I have in my life. So for that reason, I would like you to give you this little gift.
Oh my gosh. You chose the very interesting picture, like literally on the top. It's just like, you remember when you were naked with Igor Vavilov in the Moscow? Yes, I do.
So this is for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you even found like picture with my family.
Yes,
Look
because
at them.
I always like to say that those are the people that are always
It's
gonna
just
be
like
there for
something like,
you.
Daddy, do you feel me? Like, do you proud of me right now? He's never seen this picture, by the way.
You're like, I'm
He'll
gonna
ne-
just have it in the closet.
This is so pretty. Thank you.
Of course.
I actually had the idea like to put all my pictures on the wall. So like, I love it. Thank you so much.
Nice. I think this is like a good
Did you?
recap.
Why you should have been signing here something like from the podcast or something?
Oh,
So I'm gonna know.
I'm like, I imagine I'm like, I cannot write. I'm just kidding. That's actually not a bad idea. I never done
Yeah,
it.
because like, do you have a marker? We're gonna do it like
Yeah,
now when
later.
we're gonna be done. So like, you just
Um,
write down like podcast, write a date and like your name. So it's gonna be like for real memory.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. I think it's just good, like for you to remember, like you have. I like always to put like their families there, because they're your family, and the way you mention them, they are supportive in their ways.
If they are, yeah.
Yeah, just like but little things like your father actually like following orders from your mom and not buying ice cream.
Yeah.
That's a way of supporting you.
He's getting older. He's getting soft balls.
Right, so it's something to realize. And I think like again, if you have like even a good time or a bad time or just like a time, you can go back to that picture and be like, damn, this, I have them, I have myself and everything. And I always say this: you have your family, you have your friends, if you have friends. I'm not sure you have friends, because
I do have.
of
I do
course
have
I'm
a
just
good
kidding.
people around me. That's true.
And even though you have all these people surrounding you, I always like to say that there's someone that is always gonna be there for you, and that's yourself.
Oh, what is this? How did you get this one? What is this? How
So,
did you get this one?
just remember that I'll tell you later. Don't worry.
You called my mom?
No. I'm like,
I'm quite sure that like on the right picture is me. On the left picture, I'm not quite sure. Well, let me see
I don't know.
if that's me.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So, it's always you. So just make sure you make her proud, which I for sure
Yeah.
you do every single day. But I feel like it's just cute to have yourself.
That's true. Thank you so much.
This is for you too.
Wait a second. No, it is me. It is me, 1993.
I'm like,
yes,
of course,
with my
it's you.
yeah, it's my mom because like she's blonde right now.
I'm like, my production team did it correctly. Okay.
No, you
I'm
did
just
great.
kidding.
Yeah, because like I didn't realize what is this from, but I think it's a screenshot from the video, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
You know, you are your production team. You're Rudy. No, you're not.
Like Rudy.
Huh.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you like 3 more questions.
Go ahead.
And I usually would like you to answer that questions just not looking at me but looking at your younger self. So the second gift, if you want to.
Or me naked self.
No, you're like your younger self.
Okay, then the younger self. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, give me a second. Where do I have this? Okay, good. So if you have the opportunity to talk to your younger self, go back in time and actually have an actual conversation with that children, what would you like to tell her?
Everything that you think is the right thing. So don't you ever try to listen to anyone else because you already have an idea of who you are and who you want it to be.
Nice. If you have the opportunity now to talk to 85, 90-year-old Anastasiia, what would you like to hear from her in this moment?
Oh, she would probably say, "Holy shit, what was a run? What a journey we had. Girl, get some hot tea. We have a lot of things to remember."
Okay, last. How would you like to be remembered?
If it's possible in this world to be remembered, if there's only going to be one person that remembers me and my name, and that's going to be enough, and if this person look at my picture or whatever art I did, and it says like, come on, if she could do it, I can do it too, and go for it, that's a win.
Nice. Anastasiia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did.
I actually really did enjoy it. Yeah.
Before we're done, I don't know if you want to say something else or to me or the camera. I mean, the people. Not my camera. The people. Or if I didn't ask a question that you always like to be asked and I didn't do it, you can tell me too. So this is your time.
It's funny because like when I was coming here, I'm just like, I don't like to be asking questions. The older I get, I realize that I'm just like, don't ask me, just look at my art. Like that's the fun. Like when I was 25, 6, I was just like, I want to go to the interview zone. I was just like, now I'm like, don't ask me shit. I just made a short movie. Watch my short movie or something like this. And
That's
just,
my boys.
It's just like, yeah. And to say something to the people, I don't know, like, get your ass up and work. You can be better. No matter how hard you work, you can always work harder. That's the thing to remember. And if journey feels hard, remember it's one step at a time, one foot in front of another. And if you going through some bad things, going through hell, it's another my favorite thing that I read recently. Walk like you fucking own the place. This is gonna make you feel way better. So yeah.
Nice. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Anastasiia, for coming.
Thank you.
And if you like watch the whole conversation, I hope you enjoy as I did. Please subscribe. comment your favorite part of the conversation. If not, like if you're a lazy ass, just like watch the clips. Because I always do like clips and whatever. Because like I don't have
You
time.
better
Whatever.
watch the whole conversation.
Just like subscribe, please, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.
Mama screaming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was so awesome. Oh my God.